Hello.
everybody. Welcome to another episode of Cosmic Chats. Today we have a beautiful guest. Yoshihara, correct?
Yes, perfect. Thank you for having me.
Oh,
Yay.
it is our pleasure to have you. She is an actress and comedian in Los Angeles, but she's also going to get down and dirty and talk a little bit about some of the healing work that she has gotten into. We want to remind you to like and subscribe to the channel, that we're also helping you build your community. So if you want to have us subscribe to you, we're going to go ahead and do that as well. So pop it in the comments. We want to help bring more community on YouTube. We also want to remind you about this fabulous ebook, Vedic Meditation Stories. If you don't know about that, you can get that now for free if you have Amazon Prime Unlimited. It is the only resource globally with true stories from the heart of people who would never, ever have thought they would have learned to meditate, in their own words, their stories. So maybe the grammar's not correct in some places, but we wanted to have their voice come out and just flick as many pages as you can for the first view to help support the nonprofit. Now, with that, we're going to ask the first question to Here we go. Standard question. How would you describe the taste of a banana to someone who's never had one?
It's sweet, but it's when you eat, kind of mushy. But it's really good for you. So eat it.
Eat it, she says. You and Weird Al. Simply eat it. All right. Can you tell me when you had your first existential life crisis as a child?
See, okay, so I thought I had a great, my childhood was not as bad as I thought, because my parents are both married, still married, and they're very loving. And my parents, they never fought in front of us, me and my sister. They had an agreement before they got married. One day they have kids, and they will never fight in front of their kids, because both of my parents were growing up in a dysfunctional family. They were growing up watching the parents fighting and domestic abuse and all that. So they had that. So I didn't have much trauma, but the only thing was that culturally, my mom was a super tiger mom. So she was, I was a very confident kid, but my mom was always like putting me down, because being humble is Asian way. It's just being cocky and overconfident kid is not good. So I was like, my mom was like, constantly humiliated me in front of, in public with, oh, you're so stupid, you're so ugly. And then, so that was like earliest my trauma. So I became really shy for a while. Yeah.
Did you have a moment that you realized that adults weren't who they said they were?
Yeah. Like in Asia, we culturally, like, we have to look up, respect our elders. So like, even though, this is orange, but the elder said, oh, this is black, so I have to say, yes, this is black. You know what I mean? I can't just disobey or just speak and talk back to them. This is our culture. So I always kind of doubted, that's not true. That's why I got in trouble in school, because when teacher said something, I said, I don't think it's not true. And then I got in trouble for that. And the teachers didn't like me. Yeah.
And how old were you when this was happening?
Pretty much like elementary school, always like elementary, since as soon as I got into elementary school, teachers are like.
And how did that make you feel physically? knowing that something was not true and you had to swallow that?
Oh my God, it was so stressful. I felt like I was like suffocated. I can't breathe. I can't say what I couldn't say what I want to say or do because of I was a girl too. Like, I was always told, don't say that because you're a girl. Don't do that because you're a girl. It like made me so upset when people told me I can do certain things because I was a girl. And so I had a temper, so I always like spoke up, and then I got in trouble. But the good thing was my dad, he was not a typical Asian Japanese man. He was like, you know what, these days, girl should be strong and should have opinions. So, I get in trouble in school, but my dad was like, I think it's okay for her to speak up. And then that heard when I heard my dad say that, I said, oh, okay, my dad thinks it's okay. So that's why one thing that I had the good support, and I wasn't destroyed by society.
What about your friends though? Were you around other girls that had a strong, nurturing male figure, or were they also subject to the same basic put downs?
Yeah, most of most of women or girlfriends, they have to like, they're submissive, and yeah, we have strong will inside, but we just couldn't express ourselves. Yeah.
So how do you think then the stereotype of the tiger mom, the fierce mom, yet also being submissive, how does that come into play?
I think when they were suppressed so much when they were younger, and then when hit the menopause, they don't care anymore. So they are just going, the hormone goes crazy. They are not afraid anymore, and like, you need to do that. You need to do that. So I think it's just worse because they couldn't express themselves for so long, and then like, just the body can't help it anymore, and just they have to explode. And yeah, so
Would
also
you say that's when getting into the elder realm where there is respect for you?
I'm sorry.
When reaching the age of being an elder, where there is respect, is where it can all come out?
Yeah, I think so. It's all just come out. It's just nobody can stop them, women's body when a certain age, just like, especially like, more you were suppressed, you get like the leap is huge.
Now, what about your transition to the United States?
So I never dated when I was in Japan, and then because I was the funny thing is, my dad apologized to me once because he gave me the name and it's called it's 13 strokes, and this is my name.
Okay, we can't quite see it. So move it in. Bring it closer to the camera.
That's the camera. I don't really
further down. Yeah, that's it right there.
Yeah. So this is my name, and then 13 stroke is good for my last name is Yoshihara, and it's 13 stroke name is good for my last name. My first name is good for my last name. So total is my last name stroke is 16, and my first name stroke is this 13. So total is 29. 29 is a really great number. So he gave me this number, but it was great for men. 29 is great for men. It's like a king. Shows, yeah. But if woman gets this name number in Japan, will destroy, the personality is too strong, and she will destroy herself. That was the meaning that my dad didn't know that he wanted to have a son so bad that he gave me the good name for number that are good for men. And, and then later he found out that it's not good for girl. And he realized, oh, no wonder she's such a strong, opinionated girl. So I told him, hey, Dad, if I stay in Japan, I'm never going to get married. No, it's just Japan is not, society will destroy me or I will destroy Japan either way. So, so yeah. So my dad said, okay, you can go to America. I said, okay. And then finally I moved to America.
And you moved through education. How did you get here?
I chose a community college in Japan, and because that school had a sister school in the United States. So I transferred from my college to American, the sister school. And then I came here as like an exchange student type of thing, and then studied at university. Yeah. And then after studied, and I just stayed in America.
You ended up, and it's not uncommon, including myself, coming over to America, a place where one could express themselves, especially more as a female. When did you find comedy?
I found comedy. First time, like my best friend told me when I was 13, my best friend told me, you should be a comedian. You're so hilarious. And I was like thinking, no way, performing in front of other, people. No way. Then I didn't think of anything about it. And then when I moved to Las Vegas, and I went to University of Nevada, Las Vegas, and I was so shy speaking English, expressing myself. And somebody told me, hey, maybe you should take acting class, and you don't need to think about what you're gonna say. It's just memorize the line. And it's, oh, I thought it was a good idea. And then, but it was harder acting was harder than I thought, but I loved it. And then I wanted to do, I love a sitcom. And then acting teacher said, if you want to do sitcom, most of people do improv, need improv training. And okay, so I did improv, and I moved to LA and I started doing improv. And then that was the start. And then when I started improv, maybe 1 year into improv, and I wasn't sure because my English was not good enough, and also I didn't understand people's references, American culture. I don't understand why it's funny and what they're talking about. Old TV shows I never saw, and I just I don't understand what you guys are talking about. So I was frustrated, but I almost quit. But then my sister passed away, and
I'm sorry.
yeah, and then thank you, and my sister was only supportive of me being pursuing comedy or acting. And my parents are like, you should get a regular job when you're gonna have a real job. So my sister was always like, don't worry about it, just do what you want to do. Don't stop yourself. And then she passed away. It was like devastating for me. So I decided to just, I will keep promise to my sister, and then just to keep pursuing what I love to do. So that was, and then at that time, improv was the main thing for me. So I stayed, did improv for 10 years.
And which style of improv?
UCB, long form.
Wonderful. Now let's shift a little bit and talk about how you got into investigating Reiki and healing work.
So I didn't even know Reiki till recently, and I like a few months ago, and then I was thinking about healing, and I've been doing meditation for 3 years, and then I heard about Reiki recently, and then okay, I think I'm mentally I'm in a really good place now, and I'm hoping that I can heal someone too. And I was thinking about healing, but I never met healer in person before. And then when it's always, my life is like this. When I said like, oh, I want something, and then it shows up, and I was, oh, I want to meet healer in person. And then, and I was at the comedy show. My comedy friend was throwing his birthday stand-up show, and his healer came up beginning of the show, and he spoke about, um, he's a healer. And then my comedy friend, the birthday guy, he healer helped him out to heal. The comedian was getting healed by this healer, and then this guy had a really good energy. It's like, wow. So then I reached out to him, is there any class, da, 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 da. And then it unfortunately he was living too far and I can't take his class, but I found someone in LA, and then I started taking class with this Japanese lady. I didn't know Reiki was from originally from Japan. Yeah.
Yes, but those of you who are pretty new here, check out our live streams. There was one that we hosted after the election, a wellness live stream. It included a session with Fire Reiki by one of our Reiki guests. They're also on Cosmic Chats as well. So you can actually get a free Reiki session if you want, by checking out our live stream. Just go to the description and you will see what time slot that is. We also had another live stream that we did that included yoga, hot Pilates, yoga nidra, and you are all welcome to participate on that. We just appreciate it if you would like and subscribe. So you've been meditating for 3 years. And can you tell me the advantages you found, maybe also being an entertainer from now, a regular meditation practice from before?
It was hard for me because I did a meditation class on online. I never did it in person, so I was not sure I was doing right or wrong. And then but I did all the courses, and then did several different meditation class, and then I was struggling. I don't know, am I doing right? Is this right? I don't feel anything, and then I can't shut my thoughts, and I'm supposed to be like nothing. What's going on? But when do you know it's called Mind Valley? Yeah, and then I took courses there, and one of the teacher, Jeffrey Allen, and he was my first class that I took. And when first time I did his class, I just couldn't get it. And then I did a second time. I just maybe 6 months later, I did redo his class again. And then it's all of a sudden it came to me. It's just when I first time experienced being grounded, my body was just got, I don't know how to explain. My body was so go down, and I even felt like my body was so heavy to the ground. And I was like, I felt so calm, and whole my body was like something was going through my body. I was like, wow. And through my hand, my feet, and like, what is going on? That was my first really experiment with that class. And then also he teaches how to heal yourself. And also I had a trauma from my marriage, and also my sister's death, and all that stuff I have to heal. And it took me about 3 years to feel like, oh, okay, I'm okay now. I'm in a better place.
Also the practice of going inward with meditation. There are many different kinds, and the Vedic meditation, the non-profit, is designed to go and teach large groups of people who would not normally be exposed to it, with teachers that have a minimum of 6,500 hours of training. So you're getting someone who's really very well trained, and it's in person. So those direct questions rather than conceptual. And meditation has two branches fundamentally: concentration and non-directive, right? And concentration is we're actively concentrating or focusing, putting some attention, ideally waking state. And then the non-directives actually work the opposite way. They have the mind go inward, right? And get the nervous system to get that deep rest. Because when our physiology is off, when our nervous system is in fight or flight, it's very hard to get those results from meditation. So the meditation practice that we predominantly teach helps get that system moved straight away, so then it can integrate from here down into here, right? Yeah. And we're all dealing with this idea of what meditation is supposed to be. We're supposed to be calm. We're supposed to have no thoughts. Well, the mind fluctuations, the mind chatter is the result of stress. And if we are at the effect of lots of stress, the mind is attempting to find a way to not be in that stressful situation. But it gets stuck in a loop, especially if there's trauma. Yeah. And what happens is we keep repeating the ever repeating known, and we can't get out of that. And so if we are sometimes attempting to distract the mind, that's all that it's doing, is just distracting it off, rather than getting down deep to maybe events that happen that are bringing up trauma from before, which is why it's so deep, right? And overpowering, and how the body can absolutely help restore. Now, I want to make sure that everyone knows that if you need to see medical practitioners in this particular meditation, we have no problem. Yes, see doctors, eat what you need to eat. It's important that we use all of the modalities to help our nervous system restore and be able to go inward and get that deeper calm. Have you found that your comedy has been, let's say, of more ease from doing meditation?
Yes, definitely. And I always, before I perform, I always ground myself. And also I send energy to every audience before I perform, and also I ground the place before when I get there I ground the place also.
Very similar to the practice of Ho'oponopono.
Yes, yeah, I read the book. Yes, yeah.
Right, all based on the principle of forgiveness.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, beautiful. Well, with that, I could spend more time talking to and if you want to have her come back and ask more questions, please do. I just pop them in the comments. We love her. She is very well known on TikTok. She's got a big following. You can check her out on Instagram. But more than that, you can also check her out when we do part 2. So make sure you like and subscribe, and you watch out for part 2. And with that, we will say, see you soon.